Welcome back. This is Mike. And whether you like to believe it or not, my analysis was pretty on point when I said this is going to come right back. And what has happened? Exactly that. It's come right back down to where the B wave ended, the C wave in brackets started, and now it's come back down in a five-way move. Right? So possibly nearing the end of the first leg down. And as I've always kind of said, the way we went up is the way we're going to come back down. And the reason for that is quite clear. We're looking at a B wave. Okay. So, yes, we have a wave one down, wave one of wave three for the larger E wave pattern. Okay. Now, at no point in time did I decide that my analysis is wrong. Basically, just went quiet, just waiting for this to happen because I knew it would happen, right? I always sell the hype, sell the news. This rally is done, right? I mean, it wasn't even a rally to begin with. It's just a corrective process, right? So there's not much for me to really say about this apart from it turned out exactly the way I said it would. Okay. So that's probably why I don't even post much lately, but I still get people following me. Why? Because they realize that my analysis is actually correct. For the most part, it's pretty on point, and my larger picture view is my guide. Okay, the guide is the larger picture view. Okay, so let me remind you of what that is in case you're unaware. Okay, so since the beginning of XLM, we had a missing in action wave one, which obviously is what happens when there's a beginning of a chart. You see like an impulsive price action upwards where it can be gapped from zero up. It then retraced in wave A, B, C. D was expanded in a massive way during that big rally in 2017. And it's come back down now again because we're in an E wave, right? We've only seen a wave one, two, right? And we're in wave three. Yes, wave two was expanded to the downside. Okay, we never made a new high. That's important. Okay, it basically is incorrect to assume that's a truncation like I once pondered on until I realized the pattern. So, yes, my analysis isn't always 100% amazingly accurate. It's pretty hard to do that. However, I quickly do a lot of work to figure out where I'm wrong. And since I've produced that idea that this is a wave E, I haven't had to post much because everything is playing out exactly the way it should, right? Wave E's in this type of wave E, pattern, it's not something that is just a straight five wave move, right? It's actually a pretty complex pattern, and it's a large pattern, right? It's a very large pattern, right? Especially when you compare it to the previous moves. Wave E is actually going to be massive compared to them. Longer in duration, more choppier, but five waves nonetheless, right? Now, we are nowhere near the end of this until we break down hard in a third of a third for wave three, and then start to near the area of completion where my buy signal will come roughly in about a year and a month roughly, right? Could be a year. Basically, that's what it is, right? Now, this could definitely go out, blow out to like the end of the year next year because it's an election year. But by the time we get to this area down here, there's going to be a lot of confusion anyway, right? There's going to be a lot of things going on anyway. So for me to just sort of have that sort of area in mind means that we are going to see turmoil in the markets, right? Like what I said before, a financial calamity, or actually I said cataclysm, right? A cataclysmic event is in the process of unfolding, right? Not so much in cryptos. We've already seen some pretty bad things going on here, but I mean, like, is in the Dow Jones. You haven't seen that collapse yet, collapse to zero. That's what I think is going to happen. So I don't really need to go into detail on that because you just go back through my videos and you'll see I haven't been posting much, so it won't be hard to find. So all in all, this is just going to produce another zigzag down. And, you know, sure, it was weaker than the wave C, in parentheses up. Right now, remember, we're using Arias wave here. We're not using Elliott wave or any other mumbo jumbo wave methodology. This is something I created. This is serious stuff, right? And it's more serious when it actually pans out the way that I say that it's going to. And you've got some trolls on here in the past, from the past, sorry, who are pretty quiet at the moment. Why? Because they're wrong, right? They thought this would continue higher, and it's clear that it's not going to. So that will shut anyone up, especially if they're bullish, because where's the bullishness? Exactly where is it going to come from? Well, that idea has definitely come and gone because it's not going to happen. Okay. We still haven't seen nowhere near the bottom here. So people are definitely getting chewed up and spit out on this one, right? And it's going to continue to happen. At this point in time, you'd be better off doing nothing at all. Put your attention somewhere else, like I have been. Focus on yourself, focus on your psychology, stack your chips, prepare the dry powder, and keep building your capital. You don't need to do anything right now, right? This bear market will be ongoing for a while longer. So I will post ideas like this from time to time, but in reality, there's nothing to do here. Right? What's going to happen from here? We're going to see a whole bunch of chop once again. Like I've said before many times, you're going to see the same thing come back down again, right? It's going to happen all over again. A, the B, the C pattern. You're going to see this type of thing happen, right? Of course, the B wave has multiple components within it, but that's just RS wave for you, right? And I'll track it. Absolutely, I'll track it. But the thing is that you need to understand there's nothing to do at the moment. You're not going to get anything out of being bullish or bearish, all right? Because this is a sideways movement. It's called a correction, right? It's an Arias wave correction. That's what I call them, right? Because nobody else can understand these corrections the way I do. And if you can find somebody who can basically tell you what I tell you, then go ahead and post it below. Send me a link. Right? Even after this move is done, we still are not done in the correction. There's still going to be another move up, right? And people are going to think that's also a bull market. It's not. It's just it's part of a correction, right? I mean, how many times are we going to go up and down? People having all sorts of. I mean, that's what corrections do to people. They make people think whatever the hell they want to think. Confirmation bias. It reigns supreme during these times, right? But if you really want to know what the deal is, well, if you follow the crowd and you follow whatever you follow, you'll get worn out by the time it's actually time to buy. You'll get worn out so much that you would have lost confidence by the time this thing is actually ready to turn higher, right? So that's what I think. It's a contrarian view, but it's also a very technical view based on RS wave. So that's all I have to say for this video. Thanks for watching.